Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm glad that you're here. And if you're not new to my channel, welcome back. I'm still glad that you're here. Do you guys ever go to a restaurant or a coffee shop when you were younger and everything was crowded with a conglomerate of stuff that fit the vibe of the place that you're in? And then a few years later, you guys come back to the said place and suddenly you stop your breaks because it had a major glow up. Maybe your first thoughts were, oh my god, this place is so Instagram worthy. The lighting is nice. The lighting is so God sent. Or, damn, this place is clean. Sheesh. Or you're that one person that goes, why is everything so bland? Me personally, I'm a mix of all the examples, especially the last one, because why are coffee shops and restaurant interior design so bland nowadays? Now you might be wondering, why am I making this video? Well, I'm glad you asked, because it's story time. Sit down. Just sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Story time. I'm going to tell you the story and how I made up with this, how I brainstormed this video. You good? You're good? You're seated? You're good? Okay. So, it was just a normal day at home. I was like scrolling through TikTok like most of us do, looking at fashion inspo, things I can probably talk about on this channel, do life hacks on my For You page that is gonna be probably useful in the near future. Um, and I also look at edits of my favorite celebrities that make me blush and spin around in my seat. You know, the usual. And during my usual doom scrolling and brainstorming session, I came across this slideshow on TikTok where it showed where it showed interior designs of fast food restaurants in the past. I'm talking McDonald's, I'm talking Burger King, talking KFC, Taco Bell, Jollibee, everything. It just hit me in the face like the it in question is nostalgia, by the way. Nostalgia hit me in the face like Regina George and that bus. Also, I want to add here, I also want to mention the interior designs of coffee shops in the past. Old interior designs of coffee shops in the past felt like a warm hug. It was cozy. It felt like you don't want to leave the coffee shop. It felt like you just want to stay there. I mean, there's still coffee shops with like the same feel and the same aesthetic, but however, coffee shops nowadays are bland. They're so bland. Everything is bland. It just hurts my brain. Ah. I mean, to this day, there are still coffee shops with the same vibe. You know, cozy, felt like a warm hug, felt like you wanna live there kind of beat. But in my opinion, I consider that kind of aesthetic as a dying art. It's something so surreal and it's so rare nowadays. Now, why am I saying that overly accessorized fast food chains, restaurants, and coffee shops are a dying art, in my opinion? Because coffee shops and restaurants nowadays look like this. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still aesthetically pleasing, but the flavor, it just died down. It doesn't have any kick. It feels flavorless. It's on the verge of being flavorless. The only restaurants with a non-bland interior design nowadays that I can think from the top of my brain are Texas Roadhouse and TGIF Fridays, and some selective coffee shops like Starbucks and Coffee Bean. It's like I said, overly accessorized coffee shops and restaurants are a dying art, in my words. Because restaurants and coffee shops with many things that are like overly accessorized brings out the character, brings out the vibe of the place that you're dining in, like I said. And I'm going to be repeating the same word over and over again, the same two words over and over again. It's a dying art because people are jumping on the minimalist train. I miss the days when pizza places were like decked out in stuff that screams New York and Italy. I miss when sports bars put the sports in sports bars. I miss when um they would plaster jerseys of sports legends, whether it's basketball, volleyball, football, soccer, tennis. I miss the I miss when things have character. I miss when things have flavor. I miss when coffee shops had like the global village coffee house aesthetic with those silly paintings with the squiggly people enjoying coffee and and smooth jazz blasting in the background every time I take a sip of my latte. Which is a sad thing because I wish I was able to admire the old interior designs of some places when they were popular in the early 2000s and late 90s at my current age because I couldn't enjoy the atmosphere when I was younger for some reason. So, my question still remains, what happened? How do we go from fun and homey to not fun and not fun and very bland? Like as I've mentioned earlier, I feel like coffee shops nowadays are jumping on the minimalist train, and there are people who say that they want the place to be modernized and accessible. I just simply say, you're not fun. You hate whimsical joy. You just hate fun in general. Because you can have an aesthetically pleasing restaurant and a coffee shop and be accessible and adapt to modern technology at the same time. Like I said, it adds flavor to the drink and food I am consuming in the place that I'm in. Two things can coexist: modern and accessible, aesthetically pleasing. That's easy. Despite the whole cozy and homey vibes and the aesthetics and the overly accessorizing of restaurants and coffee shops being a dying art to me. However, there is still hope. There's hope. There's hope, guys. Most of the restaurants I go to nowadays, whenever I'm with my family members or whenever I'm with myself, they still have like this cozy and homey vibe to it. Like um Japanese food. Like whenever I eat Japanese food, I still feel like I'm in Japan. Or Mary Grace. Mary Grace is an example, and it still looks so cozy, and I want to live in that coffee shop. I want to live in that that restaurant and smother my face with cheese rolls and ensaymada. Casa Reyes, they serve Filipino food. Like I said, it gives off the vibe that you're eating at an old timey Filipino restaurant. You're eating at an old at Philippines when it was like in the olden days. There's still hope. There's still hope, guys. God damn, I sound so crazy. I sound crazy, man. But whatever. It's a very passionate topic. I I get so riled up whenever when I'm like passionate about stuff. Moving on. Anyways, my biggest takeaway here on this yapping session of mine is that when you renovate or build a coffee shop or restaurant, keep the aesthetically pleasing vibes alive. And I feel like that's what's gonna draw in more people that who want the vibe, like the vibes that like I've mentioned earlier on the video. Cause like me, cause like we need more of that. We need we need to bring that back. We need to bring back restaurants and coffee shops with these kinds of vibes that I've mentioned in earlier. I know I sound redundant, but we need to bring those kinds of vibes back to pass down to generations until the sun blows up. Let's bring back fun. Let's bring back whimsical joy. Let's bring back play places. Let kids interact with kids again in real life. I don't want to sound like a boomer or anything, but I'd rather let my future children interact with kids their age in real life in play places and parks than rotting their brains over the next skibidi toilet. I'm sorry. Also, play places are like Roblox obviously in real life. Like, except you don't have to like pay for springs, you don't have to like pay for a magic carpet that will bring you up to the top. Cause that's cheating. And we don't like cheaters in this household. No, no. We like a fair game. Yeah, with that being said, thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, and hit subscribe if you like these kinds of videos. It means the world to me. Uh, Question of the day: do you guys miss coffee shops and restaurants that are aesthetically pleasing and overly accessorized? Leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Love y'all. Okay, I'm gonna break my silence. The reason why I don't like step, the reason why I didn't like stepping into coffee shops when I was young, whether it's Starbucks or not, is because they're blasting out jazz music. No, I don't have a vendetta against jazz music. I love jazz music nowadays. I'm a big girl. I love jazz music now. I just didn't like it because it reminded me of Blue's Clues. You know, it reminded me of the credits rolling down. Kind of made me sad.